So this is interesting. I find this interesting. You may or may not find this interesting, but you're going to watch anyway. Hey folks, how you doing? Dave McRae here. So it was brought to my attention this morning from a fellow industry professional who said to me, you know, there's no IMAX logo or see it in IMAX at the end of the Halloween Kills trailer. And they, being astute and working in the business, found that interesting. Because this time last year, or no, maybe not, no, because it was announced on July the 8th. Now, I don't remember it being the 8th of July because I'm a diehard Halloween fan. Well, maybe. But I remember it being the 8th of July because that was my mother's birthday. So that's very easy to remember for me. But it was July the 8th, 2020 that they announced, yeah, Halloween Kills is going to be delayed until October 2021. Oh, no, that's awful. You know what I mean? And I can't remember if it was that day. It may have been, or if it was shortly thereafter. Well, obviously it was after, but I mean, if it was shortly after or maybe a couple of months after, I can't remember, but some point after, not too long, they also said, you know what? It's also going to go to IMAX. We are prepping this thing to go to IMAX. It's being mixed and mastered right now in New York. I think they said something like that, or it's going to go to New York, or Carpenter was in New York doing the music or something. There was something about New York and the mixing and the mastering and all that kind of stuff. This is a while ago. And Halloween fans lost their shit, right? Because I think they were under the impression that this thing it's going to have a gigantic IMAX release, you know, like Jurassic World or Fast 9 or I don't know, James Bond or Dune or something, right? I don't know if that's the case. And because I do understand that Halloween 18 had like a 1 week IMAX run somewhere in there. But I think maybe that's what they're going to do with Halloween Kills. Because I think some people were under the impression, myself included, that they were prepping it for a big IMAX release. Like that was their gift to us for not really, they couldn't care less. But you know, it was, they can make more money by charging more. But at the end of the day, that's really cool, right? That's really cool. And I think maybe, like I said, myself included, that we thought it was going to be some big, gigantic release. I don't know if that's the case, folks, because at the end of the trailer, there is no see it in IMAX. There is no IMAX logo. And Universal usually smacks that fucking thing all over their big IMAX release films. And it's not there. That doesn't mean it's not going to go to IMAX. It doesn't mean that. Maybe they're waiting for the TV spots, the 30-second promos that pop up in September and October, right? You know, at the end of those, you'll see it in IMAX. You know, I mean, maybe, right? But it's not there. And this was their first big trailer. I know it's trailer number 2, technically, but this is the first big official trailer. The poster dropped, the trailer dropped, everybody's losing their minds. No IMAX. Okay. So what did they mean by that if they didn't mean an IMAX release, right? Now, generally speaking, horror movies don't get those big IMAX releases, generally. Okay, interesting. But then I thought, well, it still doesn't mean that. And it doesn't. But let's go over to the IMAX website, shall we? Because you'll find this interesting. So here's the IMAX website. Now let's type in, I've already typed it in. Halloween Kills. Here we go. Halloween Kills. Let's hit search. All right. Halloween Kills. And, you guys can't see that. That says, one second here. There you go. That says, no results are found. Please try a different search. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Well, Dave, it's June. Wait, man. Be patient, man. Wait. Okay. All right. But James Bond comes out the week before. James Bond comes out the week before, right? No Time to Die. So let's put in No Time to Die. And, there it is. It's mentioned. Okay. Well, maybe they just haven't mentioned Halloween Kills yet, right? Of course, this is before. Yes, but it's also a week before, and No Time to Die is going to be an IMAX Titan. And it's only a week before H Kills. Well, the other big IMAX Titan that comes out a week after Halloween Kills is Dune. But in Dune is... There's Dune, and that comes out a week after Halloween Kills. So you've got James Bond, which is an IMAX Titan, coming out the week before. You've got Dune, which is another IMAX Titan, which comes out a week after. And under ordinary circumstances, you would expect, well, yeah, Bond is probably going to play 2 weeks in IMAX, and then they would switch it over to something else. That sounds about right. That usually is kind of what you see. It's unlikely that you're going to see Bond play in IMAX for a week and then Halloween Kills takes over. Maybe. I doubt it. No mention of Halloween Kills. If they hadn't mentioned Dune, I'd be like, well, maybe Kills is just not up there yet. But interesting stuff. Now, does all of this speculation and this, at the moment, circumstantial, albeit evidence, or I should say evidence, albeit circumstantial, suggest that it's definitely not going to go to IMAX? No, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that at all. It doesn't mean that at all. But I think it all comes down to what they meant. And look, the industry has changed. Maybe they did, this time last year, we're going to put this thing on fucking big IMAX screens because Bond and Dune were on different release dates back then, right? So that was their intention. Universal wanted to have a gigantic IMAX release. Like a legit, not just like, oh, it's been out for, a month and here you can now watch it for a week, on IMAX. I mean, like an official IMAX release. Maybe that was their intention. But with all the moving around and changing and uncertainty, they just can't, right? I think that's likely what's happened. I think we may still get Halloween Kills on IMAX, but it may be like H18 when it's out for a little bit and they throw it up on an IMAX screen for a week when there's some downtime between the, titans, maybe. So I think we have to temper our expectations a bit here. And again, I'm not saying that it's definitely not going to IMAX. Okay. I did at Jason Blum in a tweet today. I just reached out to him and just asked, hey, noticed that you didn't have this, this, and this. Just curious if that's still the plan. Never heard back. Not surprising, but didn't hear back. But I wanted to put it out there into the ether anyway, just in case somebody sees it, maybe not him, maybe his staff or somebody sees it and decides to respond. So I think we need to temper our expectations a bit, that there's a high probability that this could still go to IMAX, but not in the ways I think a lot of fans thought when they made the announcement, it's coming to IMAX. You know what I mean? And they were kind of like, wow, that's going to be so cool. So, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I couldn't care less, okay? I mean, it's just going to be great to watch. And I think most of us couldn't care. I think after 37 seconds, when the movie begins and you see Michael tearing apart those firefighters, I don't think anybody's going to give a fuck that you're not in an IMAX theater, right? You're still watching it on a gigantic 30-foot screen with surround sound, professionally mixed and mastered, with your popcorn and your lady or your guy or your whoever, wherever, however you identify. You're going to be sitting there and fucking rocking it, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're not going to care. You're not going to care at the end of the day, right? 37 seconds in, maybe even 7 seconds in, you're not going to care. But it still would be kind of cool to see it in IMAX. And maybe we will. Like maybe there will be that week somewhere in there where they do that. But I was under the impression, and I think a lot of us were, that it was going to be a big IMAX push, a big IMAX release. And maybe that was the intention, but obviously things have changed big time in the last year, and that doesn't look likely at the moment. It doesn't look like it. Like I'm not seeing evidence that tells me that's going to happen. So maybe that's why it wasn't there. Anyways, folks, my name's Dave McRae. Comment below and let me know your thoughts. I would love to know. Do you care? Do you not care? Are you pulling for it? Were you under sort of the same kind of impression? Or were you like, whatever, I really don't give a shit. I just want to see it on the, I just want to see it. Because a lot of people are kind of like that, and I'm kind of like that too. But IMAX is a little, it's a little icing on the cake. It's a little sprinkling. It's a little chocolate syrup. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit of that on already a nice dessert. It's just that little bit. You know what I'm saying? But if you take that off, it's still good cake. It's still good cake. Let me know your thoughts. My name's Dave McRae. If you want to follow me on Facebook, you can at facebook.com/manythingsdavemcrae. That's where I tend to post in the meantime and in between time when I'm not posting here. All my links are in the description. My links to my Twitter, my Instagram, my official websites, my IMDb. It's all down there. Check them out until your heart's content. And when your heart is content, check them out again. Alrighty, guys. Have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon. Cheers.